Hey, espresso lovers, Marc here from Whole Latte Love. So a question I get all the time is, what grind setting should I use for espresso? You know, I try and give a detailed answer to every question in those comments, but that's one I really can't give an answer to. To demonstrate why, coming up, I'll be pulling 5 naked shots, really cool. Each shot will use the same 18-gram coffee dose, but a slightly different grind size. That way, you'll see how a very small change in grind size can make a really big difference. Before that, here's a look at the equipment I'll be grinding on the Chiado E6P. It's a 63 millimeter burr grinder with 2 time grinding presets, or you can grind manually. It's a prosumer level unit and one of the best values in its class. I'll pull the shots on a Profitec Pro 600. It's a compact dual boiler machine with PID, vibration pump, E61 group, and the service boiler runs near 2 bar of pressure for best-in-class steaming power, and it has features like a shot timer, backflush reminder, and programmable standby time. Now, I'm using a dual boiler Pro 600 PID machine so I can get very accurate brew temps for each extraction. I've set that PID for the brew boiler to 200 degrees. Since I want to focus on the effects of grind size only, I'm using a few parts upgrades and other equipment to take as many other variables out of the equation as possible. So let's go through those. Now, if you're interested in any of these, you can find links to the products in the video description. On the Pro 600, I installed an IMS Nanotech shower screen and a Cafe Works silicone group gasket. I like the flow from the IMS shower screen. It gives more even distribution of brew water over the puck than stock screens, and the Nanotech coating is less likely to accumulate coffee oils, so it's going to stay cleaner. The Cafe Works silicone group gasket is more flexible than stock rubber gaskets, so you don't have to clock in as hard and risk disturbing the grounds. So we can see how the shots develop, I'm using a Profitec Bottomless portafilter. I'm using 2 cameras here, so you'll get a good look at each shot from the portafilter and in the glass at the same time. In the portafilter, I've installed an 18-gram Barista Pro Nanotech treated double shot filter basket. They have a different hole pattern than stock baskets, no internal ridges, and no taper to the sides. The end result, in my opinion, is more consistent shots than from stock baskets, and like the IMS shower screen, the Nanotech coating helps that Barista Pro basket stay cleaner. I'll be compacting and leveling with the Jack leveler made in Italy by Asso Coffee. Since I started using this leveler a few months ago, I'm no longer using tampers. The leveler removes any inconsistency you'd have with tamping. Its design distributes the coffee evenly, and there's no possibility of an unlevel puck surface. Now, I've tried other levelers, but the Jack is my favorite. Very easy depth adjustment with 12 click stops per rotation of the leveling head. I'm going to pull the shots using brew ratios. If you are not familiar with brew ratios, you can use the link up here for my video, which takes you through the process. It's really very straightforward. You're just comparing the coffee dose weight to the weight of the extraction. To do that, I'm using an Acaia lunar scale. I'm shooting for a 1:2 ratio, so for each extraction, I'll weigh out 18 grams of coffee and try and stop the shot as close as possible to 36 grams of output for that 1:2 ratio. So let's get to the shots and see how just a small little change in grind size makes a really big difference. I'm using Maroma's Orthia coffee. It's an Italian-style blend. It's a coffee known for producing a rich crema. It's one I like a lot and one I'm very familiar with. So first, off camera, I pulled a few shots and dialed into a shot I liked using that 18-gram coffee dose and extracting to a 1:2 brew ratio. So here's my reference shot. Notice how the shot develops from all areas of the bottom of the filter basket at the same time. You know, being able to see this is why I love pulling naked shots. That equal development is a good indication of proper distribution and leveling of the coffee. We'd also be able to see any spurts, which would indicate channeling of brew water through the puck. As we go through these, notice you can see the Pro 600's shot timer and the shot weight on the Acaia scale. So that's my good shot, 27 seconds and finished weight a little over 37 grams. Here's where I had my grinder set for that shot. For the next one, I'm adjusting my grind settings 2 notches finer. That equals 1/48 of a revolution or 7.5 degrees. To be certain all my ground coffee is at the new grind setting, I'm grinding off a few grams of coffee and discarding it before dosing for the next shot. Now, I'll do that for all the shots as well as using the same 18-gram dose and the same depth on my leveler. So here's the shot, and what a difference. Now, I'm going to speed things up here from time to time, but it was a full 18 seconds until first drip, and while the coffee looks pretty dripping there, I can guarantee you it is severely over-extracted. Compared to the dialed-in shot, which finished at 27 seconds, at the same time here, only 1 gram of espresso in the glass. Moving ahead, the shot finally made it to the 1-to-2 brew ratio at a whopping 81 seconds. Severely over-extracted, very bitter, and notice the finished volume of 50 milliliters as the crema fell apart during the extraction. So a really dramatic change from 27 seconds to 81 for the same brew ratio with that little grind change. For the next shot, I'll change my grind only 1 notch finer instead of 2. That's 1/96 of the revolution, or a hair under 4 degrees. This one is a little more reasonable, but still kind of slow. Nice even development from the filter basket and no spurts or blank spots. It's on the slow side again. Moving ahead, this shot finished at 39 seconds and near 38 grams in the glass. So that very small change in grind size resulted in a 44% increase in the time to reach my 1-to-2 brew ratio. Moving the grind coarser from my dialed-in shots had a similar effect in the faster direction. Here's a shot set 1 notch coarser and all kinds of bad things happening. Uneven development, spurting, and it's just too fast, hitting the target brew ratio in less than 20 seconds. And just for fun, here's a shot set 2 notches coarser than my reference. Again, more bad spurting and even faster. This shot hit the target brew ratio in under 13 seconds. So here's a look at where the grind was set for each of the 5 shots and the time it took to reach the desired 1-to-2 brew ratio. So what's the takeaway? Well, those very small changes in grind size can make a huge difference. That's why I can't tell you what grind setting to use, and it's why those into espresso invest in good grinders. Now, I did taste all the shots, those done coarser than the reference, although crema rich were thin, weak, and sour. For those ground finer, the 81-second shot was very bitter, completely over-extracted. The shot that came in 39 seconds wasn't terrible. In fact, if doing it all over again, for my taste, I'd maybe adjust my grind a half a notch finer than the reference shot and look to hit my brew ratio in maybe 33 seconds from pump on. So one key to better espresso is to work that grind. I'm Mark, thanks for watching, and if you've got any coffee questions, use those comments and I'll do my best to get you a detailed answer. And if you like the content here, be sure and subscribe to the channel so you'll get more of the best on everything coffee, brought to you by Whole Latte Love. Want to learn more? Subscribe now so you'll know about the latest videos on everything coffee from Whole Latte Love.